we begin taking a breath. Lloyd, did you want to say something?
I'm just going to introduce Rabbi Stephen Stark Lowenstein. Also, please turn your cell phones to silent.
Birth is a beginning and death a destination, but life is a journey, a going, a growing from stage to stage, from childhood to maturity and youth to age, from innocence to awareness and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion and then perhaps to wisdom, from strength to weakness and often back again, from health to sickness and back we pray to health again, from offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion and grief to understanding, from fear to faith. From defeat to defeat to defeat until looking backwards or ahead, we see that victory lies not in some high place along the way, but in having made the journey, stage by stage, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is the beginning, and death the destination. But life is a journey, a sacred pilgrimage made stage by stage, from birth to death, to life everlasting. Death has taken our beloved Lorelei Cole Redmond. Our friends grieve in their darkened world. In their silence there is lamentation. In their tears there is loneliness. Lost in their sorrow may they find the presence of loving friends. Hear them, O God, be with them. For Lorelei's love that united us in life which death cannot sever. For her companionship that we shared along life's path, which now continues through the tenderness of memory. For the gifts of her heart and mind that brought us joy and happiness, and is now a precious, precious remembrance. For all these and more we give our thanks to God. In this time of grief, we listen to the voice of our sacred scriptures that brings us the ever-new message of God's nearness. It tells us of our kinship with the Creator in joy as in sorrow, in light as in darkness, in life and in death. Psalm 121. Esa'inai el harim me'ayin yavo Ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. What is the source of my help? My help comes from God, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way, your protector will not slumber. See, the protector of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. God is your guardian, God is your protection at your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. God will guard your soul, your going and coming, now and forever. We extend our deepest condolences to Lorelei's children, to Debbie and Richard, to Jeff and Lynn, to Rob and Aaron of blessed memory, to grandchildren Amy and Michael, Viola, Rachel, and Jessica, and a beautiful, beautiful great-grandchild, Aviana, to her sister, to family members, to all those who might watch the video at a later date to pay tribute to Lorelei. These are unbelievable times. We measure lives not in time but in grace, in the love which sustains all of us, especially during difficult times. I wish things could be different, but we gather here today after 92 years of life to say goodbye to someone who came into this world February 14th, 1928, on Valentine's Day, 1928. And 92 years later left, knowing that she was loved, knowing that she made this world better by the way she lived, knowing that she'll never be forgotten. And so we offer the words of the 23rd Psalm. Together we say these words. Adonai ro'i lo exar beno deshe yarbitzeni. Almei menuchot yinach aleni nafshi yeshoved. Yadcheni v'maglet tzadek lama'an shemo. Gam ki elech b'geit salmavet lo ira ra ki yatah imadi. Ach tov v'chesed yirdefuni kol yemei chayai. V'shavti b'beit Adonai la'orech yami. Together we say, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. For years I've said the 23rd Psalm, and only recently have I truly understood it. The psalmist was very clear in choosing the words. The psalmist chose, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. When you walk through something, that means that there's a before, there's the period through, but then there's an after. I think we're all walking through a very difficult time right now, but we go through it, and this will end. God willing, we won't have masks at funerals or videotapes at funeral and chairs spread out. We walk through this path together now. In a book called God Whispers, it's written, the true worth of a life is the story that it leaves behind. Tell that story well. Did she teach you about love? Did she personify genius sensitivity? Did her life warn you of the danger of bitterness and anger? As I stand and behold the eyes of those who mourn, I realize the only difference between people in this world is not their wealth, their fame, or their success. The only difference is those that had love in their life and those who did not. Lorelei had love in her life from the day she came in until her final breath. As I talked to two of you yesterday, here were just some of the words you used. She was colorful, she was unique, she was different. She was always interested. It's okay, don't worry. She was always creative. She always had a stimulated mind. She took classes, she sewed, she quilted, she made jewelry. She challenged herself. She made recommendations. She always had newspaper clippings or articles to hand out. She was her own person. She never cared what other people thought. These last few days and weeks have been unimaginably difficult, filled with fear and isolation, instability, uncertainty, and so much more. Almost overnight, our lives have been turned upside down. Funerals and grief are a time when we need more than anything togetherness. I'm sorry that we can't hug you. I'm sorry that we can't lift you up. But know that we walk through this path together. And there will come a time where you will feel that love. And you will embrace that love after a long and full life. She didn't want any fanfare, I'm told. So she got her wish. There's no fanfare, but just a deep, abiding love. There's one poem that I love called Epitaph. It says, I do not want a curious crowd to come with lamentations loud when I am dead. Nor do I want my words and ways rehearsed by them with tardy praise when life has fled. I only want the faithful few who stood through good and evil too. True friendship's test. Just those who sought to find the good and then, as only true friends could, forgave the rest. I'd have them come these very few and drop perhaps a tear or two, and then without a sob or moan, go softly out and leave alone my soul to rest. You are the faithful few who stood through good and evil too. True friendship's test. You are the individuals that kept her alive and kept her unique and beautiful throughout her life. Debbie, it's my honor to invite you to come forward. You can read it from there as well. I was going to step aside, but
I just wrote a short thing. The definition of eulogy is a speech or a piece of writing the praise of someone. So I wanted to make sure that I honored Mom's life as best I could. Okay, I might not be able to do this.
I can do it for you if you'd like.
Yeah, thank you.
One of the oldest responsibilities of a rabbi is to be a mouthpiece, to be a maturgaman, to be a translator. So I actually act on your behalf as your translator, as your mouthpiece. The definition of eulogy is a speech or piece of writing that praises someone. So I wanted to make sure that I honored Mom's life as best I could. Her physical light has come to an end, but her spiritual soul will be with us forever. She loved us all unconditionally, ever aware of each one of our own needs. She took great pride in all of us, and I take great pride in knowing that I came from her and Daddy. They were both special, and while we are unhappy that they are both gone, I'm sure that they are together again. Has to be. I love when she would look in a baby's eyes and ask, Abe, are you in there? She did believe that she was. Did she believe that she was possible, or was she joking? I'm not sure, but I do know that I will be looking for her forever. Mom was a complex person, and yet pretty simple when you really delve into her life. Life threw her a lot of challenges. She didn't think that she was strong, but she was indeed very strong. Right up to the end, she fought. I'll always admire her tenacity. Even if you keep saying, okay, Mom, enough, she would continue to try to solve the problem, get the right word, always had a dictionary nearby, or get her point across. She was oh so creative in many ways, and at times left you wondering, really, how do you even think of that and why? It took me a long time to embrace that quirky part of Mom that was so much a part of her light. I smile now thinking about some of the many stories we all have about her. Somebody has a bestseller in their head. I last saw Mom the afternoon before she died. I left without kissing her on her forehead or saying goodbye. After she passed, I realized that I had not done that, and I really beat myself up inside. I'd never done that before. What was different for me? I had a strong feeling that this would be the last time I would see her, and a final goodbye seemed wrong to me. Maybe that is the good part. I do expect to see her and the family again. Not sure when, hopefully not too soon. I still have things here to get right first. Mom, I pray that you rest in peace. Surrounded by all your loved ones, you had a great life, and I can't imagine the rest of your journey will be anything less. I love you with all my heart, and I remain your little dandelion picker. Beautiful. What an honor it is for me to read that. To share your words to everyone, words from your heart. And in some ways, I couldn't agree with you anymore, because what makes us who we are is a body and a soul. The two live within each of us. When we sneeze, we always say, God bless you. Why do we say God bless you when someone sneezes? Because the soul almost left their body. There comes a time, though, that the soul will leave the body. For Mom, that was the other day. And her soul left her body. Death is simply when a soul leaves a body. The only thing Lloyd Mandel picked up at Sedgebrook, the only thing that we placed in this casket, the only thing that is going into this grave is her body, not her soul. All of our loved ones, we say, as Ecclesiastes wrote some 2,000 years ago, the dust returns to the earth, the spirit returns to God who gave it. It's only the house of the spirit which we place within this earth. The spirit itself can never die. I believe those words from the bottom of my heart. I don't think I could do my job if I believed anything else. The dust returns to the earth. The spirit returns to God. It's only the house of the spirit which we place within this earth. The spirit itself can never die. I hope and pray that that's the case for all of us. I hope and pray that Avian one day will know great stories of a colorful and and unique and talented and skillful person. Just last week in the Torah, we read the word for skill is someone who has chacham lev, wisdom in their heart. I think your mom had wisdom in her heart for 92 years. And she passed that wisdom on to all of you. And so we mark the end of her transition physically here on this earth, and we place her body in the grave. But we make the promise to keep her soul alive. For those who aren't even in this world, to know of a special person. May she rest in peace. Amen. God full of compassion, El Malei Rachamim, is a prayer that we ask for God to watch over the soul of our loved one. I ask that you please rise as the cemetery workers will lower the casket to its final resting place. At Nishmat Lorelei Cole Redmond, Shalacha Lolamo, God full of compassion, dwelling in the heights and the depths, grant perfect rest under the wings of your presence. To a beloved wife and daughter, mother, to a beloved sister, to a beloved grandmother and great-grandmother, relative and friend who has entered eternity. May she find refuge forever under the shadow of your wings, and let her soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is her inheritance. May she rest in peace. And let us say, Amen. Please be seated.
No. When we do the dirt, she can do it. Okay, thank you.
I'm of the opinion that my life belongs to the community. As long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die. For the harder I work, the more I live. Life is no brief candle to me, is a sort of splendid torch, which I've got hold of for the moment, and I want it to burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations. For 92 years, Lorelei's light burned as brightly as possible, as creatively, as uniquely as possible. And now that light gets passed on to the next generation and the one after that. In a beautiful poem called The Dash, I invite you to think about 1928 and all that was happening in the world 92 years ago. Dash 2020. A world war, a depression, craziness, stock markets going up and stock markets going down, travel, computers, everything that changed in these last 92 years. What remains is love. What remains is family. What remains is hope. What remains is connectedness. And now we have to find different ways to connect. But we keep doing that. Linda Ellis, in her poem called The Dash, wrote the following. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of his friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of her birth and spoke the following date with tears. But said what mattered most was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time she spent alive on earth. And now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. It matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. It matters how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left. It can still be rearranged. If we can just slow down enough to consider what is true and what is real, and always try to understand the way that other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If We treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that that special dash might only last a while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, we'd be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash. I hope all of you are proud of your mom's dash. I hope everyone is proud of the dash that she made this world better. She brought beautiful children into this world. And each one of you in your own way have given back in so many incredible ways. Robin, you have a very special place in my heart as Ben's teacher. And the role of teachers in our lives 18 years ago when we first moved to Glencoe is something that I always treasure and we treasure, and we continue to talk about you.
Thank you.
And we know that you're the person that you are from what you learned from your parents. And so one generation stands on the next, and the one after that. So we keep doing that. We keep finding ways to do it as unique as possible. Lorelei understood that. And we hold on to that. We keep teaching in our own way every day. Her physical light has come to an end, but her spiritual soul and will, her soul will be with all of you forever. And so we say the Mourner's Kaddish, a prayer that does not talk about death, but rather reaffirms our commitment to life. How do we face the reality of death? We know that it is a fact, it is a part of life. We may postpone it, we may try to delay it as much as possible. But someday, we must be confronted by it. How do we face the reality of death? By giving thanks to God for the gift of life, by voicing appreciation for the blessings we have known, by being grateful for all those lives that have touched ours and who echoes still resound in us. May the Kaddish, which we now recite, be not only a remembrance of those no longer with us, but a reminder of how we should live and the values that we should represent. And so we say the Kaddish prayer, a prayer that does not talk about death, but rather reaffirms our commitment to life. The dust returns to the earth. The spirit returns to God who gave it. It is only the house of the Spirit which we place within this earth. The Spirit itself can never die. Please rise. In the service supplement, we say together, Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'almad yirach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei kol Beit Yisrael, v'agalav zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah v'barach v'olam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekutsha brichu, la'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushpachata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu be'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu be'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Go your way, for God has called you. Go your way. May God be with you. May your righteousness go before you, and the glory of God receive you. The three of you are each wearing a small little ribbon to serve as a reminder of your hearts that are torn. We make a tear in this ribbon. Even the best seamstress, even the best crocheter, even the best quilter, if they went to repair this ribbon, would still show a mark. In some ways, your hearts will heal, but there will always be a mark. There will always be a mark on your hearts for your mom. We say these words, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Dayan ha'emet. We praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, Dayan ha'emet, Dayan, judge, emet, truth. of truth. For it's God's judgment that has ultimately taken her at this time. And we accept that. You gonna tear it?
Yeah. You want to see if you can tear it yourself, otherwise I have a knife and I can help you. Here.
Where it is. You can do it.
We make the tear in this ribbon. That's it. That's all you gotta do. That's all. Just a little.
They probably moved the marker.
And I asked everyone here to grab a small cup and to place some earth into the grave and then throw your cup away, as it's our responsibility to bury the people that we love. Since we can't, we don't want to pass the shovel from person to person. Each person acknowledges their grief in their own way by taking a small cup full of earth. It's our way of giving back. We live in a world where often when we do something, we might say, well, what will I get in return? Death is the great equalizer. There's no way that mom can ever repay you for this mitzvah. There's no way that she can come to your funeral and do this for you, but we still do it for the people that we love, knowing that we won't get anything back for it. We give simply because they gave, just as they gave to us. We give back to them, knowing that we're not going to get anything back for it. We're going to do it just because we care. The first earth that we add is earth from the land of Israel, hoping and praying for a world in peace. I ask you, by keeping distance, to come forward one at a time and place the shovel full of earth into the grave. If anyone's wearing gloves, you may also use a big shovel.
If anyone wants to use a shovel, I have Kleenex. You should grab the shovel only.
I do it with my